Hey, so I wanted to start doing some videos that are more practical, just to give, put power in your hands. Uh, Hopefully, you use it wisely, but just to improve your quality of life, get clarity on different things. But first, I wanted to talk about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden story. Now, that wasn't the original story that we have in our Bible. Uh, we have no idea what the original story was. All we have were copies of copies. So, I mean, it was changed. We don't know what was changed, but certainly something was changed. But even even in the one that we got right now, these dummies still told the truth. I don't know why they didn't change this, but you notice the serpent came and he asked, "Did God really tell you not to eat from the tree?" And they said, "Yeah, because if we eat it, we'll die." And he said, "You certainly will not die, for God knows the day you eat of it, you would become like God, knowing good and evil." And then Eve says the serpent deceived him, but out of God's own mouth, which wasn't really God, but out of God's own mouth, he said, "Behold, man has come like one of us, knowing good and evil." The serpent told the truth. We've been taught that the serpent is Satan. Now there is uh, some reference, I think, in Revelation to Satan as a serpent, but Jesus also compared to himself to the serpent, the bronze serpent that was lifted up in the wilderness. That if you looked at it, you would live, because Yahweh sent a bunch of uh, fiery, poisonous vipers to bite the people. Because fuck it, why not? They were just hungry and they wanted food, and he sends vipers. Like, what the fuck out of it? Anyway, so I don't know. There's like a lot of lies and misdirection. One of the lies that we hear is divination is wrong, right? So divination, like tarot cards, is a form of divination, but divination is not actually wrong. The disciples use divination to see who would replace Judas, and they cast lots to do it. Divination isn't evil. It's a practical tool. Now, what you want to do if you're going to use divination, you want to state very clearly who you're communicating with, because demons can only operate uh, with you and through you if they have your permission, or if you leave yourself exposed in some way. Yeah, then they'll get inside and fuck you up. But the one I want to show you today is a pendulum. Now, this is a necklace. You can use any necklace with a weight on it, but I mean, they make pendulums that, like, that's exactly all they are. But basically, this is it, and you can see I have, it's a serpent. But anyway, so when I got this and I want to start using the pendulum, I asked to communicate with my soul, my higher self, my angel, like whatever one you want to use, but the divine being that's closest to me. For most people, it's going to be your guardian angel, or if you're more of a spiritualist, you'll say higher self. It doesn't really matter; it's the same thing. Anyway, so then you want to ask your higher self or divine angel or your soul. You're just going to ask, show me yes. Now, for mine, if it's yes, it goes this way. So, is my name Christopher? And you can see it'll start moving. And then I'll have a fail-safe question, because the other direction is no. Is my middle name David? I start swinging the other direction, and never fails every time. So you ask it yes or no questions, and you have a quality question. And I just said mine. I asked, is my middle name David? I know my middle name isn't David. So I'll see if it says the correct answer. Because if it's a demon, it's not capable of telling you the truth. It's only capable of lying. So, I mean, you could find out anything. Now, you don't want to use this to snoop around, invade people's privacy. Honestly, I don't use it all that much. Some days I go days without using it. I basically use it when my intuition or my gut's telling me um, something, and I'll use the pendulum just to verify it. Um, and a lot of times, yes, it verifies it. And sometimes I'm like completely off, and I'm like, the truth is like the opposite of what I thought. That's what, if you notice, like that's what lies do or liars do. They always say the exact opposite of the truth, right? So every once in a while, I get fooled, and I'm told a lie, or hear a lie, or a lie is put in my head, and I actually believe it. So this is a useful tool to get answers. But I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a really practical tool. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, there's a bunch of lies that we're told. Like one is like God won't share His glory with anyone. I mean, these are all these lies are like talking about the Old Testament God Yahweh. But yeah, God won't share His glory with anyone. Uh, Bullshit. Like Jesus shared His glory with His disciples. He told them, "You'll do greater things than me." Uh, Another one is God is a jealous God. Love is not jealous. If something belongs to you, it's impossible to be jealous. That's Yahweh. Jealousy is a sign of insecurity. God is not insecure. Um, Another one is we deserve hell, right? Like they'll say, even one sin against a holy God deserves infinite punishment. It never fucking says that. Like Jesus, Jesus did say that we are evil. They was like, if you being evil know how to get good gifts, think about how your heavenly Father would give you good gifts. But it's always presented like, oh, the cross is what we deserve, and Jesus took the punishment that we deserve. Blah blah blah. Really, the closest thing I could even get to that, but that would kind of verify is they said the wages of sin is death, but it's a metaphor. It's basically saying, same thing as what you put in, you're going to put out. Like sin is only going to provide you, or it's only going to produce death, because sin is something that's against life and it kills it. God took a responsibility for us because He made us. We are His children. He loves us, and He would never give up on us. He took a responsibility for us. It's the same as we are when we're parents. We don't ever want to punish our children. We have no intentions of punishing them, abandoning them, giving up on them. Why would you think God is any different? I don't know. There's a bunch of lies. That's why a relationship with God, a relationship with Jesus, you need it. It's so necessary. It's so necessary. It's not even funny. Religion, you can take it or leave it. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, fuck it. You don't need it. You need Jesus. He's our King. We're His children. It's as simple as that. We don't need a bunch of theology. We just need Jesus because He's everything and He loves us. And it's as simple as that. And it's all you really need to know. Everything else is just window dressing. It may be interesting, but at the end of the day, it's still about Jesus is our King, and He loves us. That's it. The end. Period. 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 The end. The end. The end. Okay. I'm done.